I'm MK Ultra. I am a solo musician, and I just arrived in this wonderful place called Camden town from Los Angeles. I like to sing about everything from experiences that are really personal to me and a whole worldview. So these certain songs, I believe, call for a message that goes out to the masses, and so they have a spokesperson. And I think with a lot of the fans I attract, they feel like they don't have a voice, but they do. So I try to encourage them to have that voice, to speak out. Without connection, you don't get to create. So if there wasn't anyone interested in what I did, yes, I would still create, but I wouldn't have a platform for other people to spread my music around and stuff like that. So, you know, it is like a family where we accept all sorts of people, whether it doesn't matter what gender they are, what sexuality, you know, what type of music they even listen to. It's just a place where everyone can kind of come together and accept people for who they are. Well, I think that after suppressing myself for so long, being in, you know, I went to an all-boys Catholic school. I was actually molested there by a priest, and all these terrible things started happening to me, and everyone kind of just like dismissed it in a very easy way. And I think people do that to other people a lot. They just say like, oh, you'll get over it and this and that. But for me, it really started building up in here. So it came to a point after I kind of came to this realization of being the artist MK Ultra rather than the music industry person, that, you know, I need to just let everything out, and whether it be my gender, sexuality, what I'm attracted to, my interests and everything else. Like, you know, there was a lot of backlash from my family and stuff like that, just about who I was. But, you know, I'm very happy to identify as bisexual now, and I'm in a very happy lesbian relationship with AG. It's good. I mean, I identify myself as a woman, not a male, because I think I have more, I connect easier to that. I think being trans is something that is becoming more and more acceptable, which I think is good, and I think that community supports me 100%. The transgender community for such a long time has been made a mock of and haven't had that much of a voice. But now I feel like the voice is getting stronger through what I'm doing and other people are doing. In America, people are much more conservative with their music. They have this idea of the American dream, the white picket fence and all that, when it's actually not like that. America, everyone there is struggling just like everywhere else in the world. In listening to artists that had come over here, I found much more honesty in it. So I came from Los Angeles to here. And the reason is because everything that America says they represent on the macro level is some bullshit. Are there good individuals in America? Of fucking course there is, just like every other country, but just the perception they put out as the world's power, I think it's very deceiving to people, because people have this idea of America of they're gonna go find paradise and there's money all over the place, and that's just not the way it fucking is. And I got very sick of it, and you know, I knew that I belonged somewhere, and I needed to find the right individuals to be in my live band here. It was a big step, but I knew that I was going to find what I wanted here, and I put together the live band very quickly, and now we're writing the next record together and stuff like that. A lot of it comes down to like just observing your surroundings and being like, where do I fit here? I basically can only be seen as an artist in America. I can't walk down the street like this and like this because they don't accept it. I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like I'm very lucky to still be alive because I've almost died so many times in my life. Once I tried to take my own life, but that was my own fault, and I would never take my own life now. But all the other times, it's been like I've escaped death so many times, I kind of realize that there's a reason for me to be here. And I honestly believe that the reason I'm here is to create music and to help other people that feel desperate and feel the pain that I feel now and I did in the past, you know, because I know how that feels to be so out of place. And as an adolescent, whatever age you are, like, people are unique and they need to be heard. So that's kind of what I stand for. I understand mental health as, you know, like, I used to be a very short-term thinker, you know, it's like, how am I going to make it through the day and stuff like that. And it was very hard for me because there was a lot of things that were happening and, you know, skeletons in the closet that we spoke of earlier that I'm still getting over, but I'm able to look more to the future. So I guess my message with that in mental health is like, I've been in very mentally ill situations where I felt like there's been no hope. But the fact is that always comes from something that's very deep within the person. It's not just like I'm having a bad day. It's something that comes from past experiences, something they were born with, all stuff like that. And that's something I try to convey in my music. Like, I have a song called Asylum, and that was off Generation Dead, and that was like kind of how I dealt with not checking myself into an insane asylum, because after I got done with that song I felt better because I conveyed all these dark things, whether it be rape or just things that people normally wouldn't talk about, killing yourself and all these things in my song. And someone may turn around, look at it and be like, oh, they're advocating destructive behavior, but I'm actually advocating just how I felt inside at the time that got me away from committing destructive behavior. To me, MK Ultra is much just like letting everything be transparent and not giving a fuck if people like it or not. When you nearly lose your life, it comes to the point where it's like, fuck it, I'll just let everything out the way it is. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. If they do, they do. But it doesn't matter because I can look at myself in the mirror when I go to sleep at night and I can be proud of who I am.